What's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're taking a look at the DEX Powerhouse team in some Pirate Rumble. Now I put out a post to you guys 2 weeks ago now. I did say I was probably going to do this weekly, but I'll probably do this fortnightly just with content coming out and that and flooding of videos. If I can get an opportunity to do one of these, I will, because look, PvP is one of my favorite game modes and one of my favorite things to do in the game, and doing these challenge missions, it's a lot of fun. So going back and testing teams and utilizing characters at level 150 and all that fun stuff is really, really cool. Now, DEX Powerhouse characters were the team that won the poll as of 2 weeks ago. After this video goes live, I will put out another poll with the 3 teams I had with another team there, and just continuously do some polls and just build out some teams. Or we can sort of just choose the second one and go from there. Let me know what you guys want to do in the comment section below. But today, the focus is DEX Powerhouse. And DEX Powerhouse have a lot of very, very good units on it. They have a lot of very good Sugos, they have a lot of very good Pirate Festival rare recruits, and understandably, I see why people want DEX Powerhouse teams. However, looking at DEX Powerhouse, I think it's a bit outdated now. Like, it's kind of had its time, it's seen its worth, and the DEX team is moving more into your Free Spirit sort of builds, your shooter builds, and your slasher builds. Now, Frankie has released since this recording. He's another Powerhouse unit that can go on this team. He wouldn't really fit because he's based around shooters, but some notable characters you guys see on this particular team. You've got Big Mom for damage output. You've got Lucci for absolute monstrous damage output. Very, very good against quick teams. You've got S-Snake for great free spirit coverage. You've got Roger for HP cutting and being one of the newer characters. You've got rare recruits like Donjin Jiao, Dalton, Pell, Sober Mask. You could run more fighter-centric stuff and utilize Garp. You have the rare recruit, PvP rare recruit Frankie. So you have some really, really interesting stuff at your disposal when it comes to DEX and Powerhouse. However, as I mentioned, I feel like this team has definitely just fallen off quite a bit, as it is moving more towards a free spirit meta or a slasher meta, or even something like a free spirit shooter meta with that new Frankie. That new Frankie, it's like, he's kind of gross. And then obviously with like Usopp and all this other stuff, you can do some fun stuff there. You also have like the new Nami doing stuff with strikers. So DEX has just been getting buff after buff after buff, and I feel like I've done 400 videos on DEX in the last sort of 2 months. But hey, look, here we are. You guys wanted DEX Powerhouse, and you ask, and you guys shall receive. So taking on the challenge sword fight, managed to get the win there purely because of Big Mom. Big Mom and her RNG managed to get us over the line, and I think she's probably the best character to talk about first. When it comes to DEX Powerhouse teams, I feel like you have to bring Big Mom. She has the ability to halve stats a bunch of units. She's going to do a lot of damage output, provided she hits the characters that have the halve stats. And she's going to do some really, really nice stuff there. Her downsides is she doesn't hit everyone. She has the opportunity to miss characters, or she'll hit characters with halve stats, and then she won't hit those units with her attack. So she's not perfect. She does have some flaws, and for myself, I've actually moved her off the team because I just don't really find a home for her anymore on my particular DEX builds. Another character that a lot of people like to run, and one that I had in my meta teams, I really need to go back and redo them now because we've had just so many updates to PvP, is Roger. Now, Roger, for me, is a character that I don't really like to bring anymore. He seems really, really good on paper. 60% HP cut, gives himself level 10 CD. When you partner that up with Pell, you get an extra 3 turns of cooldowns. You can do some really, really nice stuff, right? But he never goes off at a good time. He always goes off after everyone else because he's on such a high cooldown. And the 60% HP cut, when you're already at 50% HP, it's not a 60% HP cut anymore. It's like 30% HP cut. So it kind of sucks in that regard that Roger's just not that prevalent. And for the final fight, I actually take him off because Jinbei level limit break 5 just seems like a better option. You get a lower HP cut, but you get more bulk. You don't have to worry about waiting for the special to come around. So he works out great. You also have stuff like 6+ Blackbeard with his level limit break. You could use him on the DEX Powerhouse team. You got stuff like Queen that can be used. You could use Newgate or verse Blackbeard. Reiju's a fantastic option, but I unfortunately don't have Reiju. I did try some stuff with Katakuri Oven. That's another Powerhouse character you can bring. Otama's exceptional, but again, I don't have Otama. Rikyu Gugu, he's another really, really good option that you guys can bring too. But what I sort of ended up with was this particular build here. As for PvP rare recruits, DEX have an absolute plethora. Like, they have so many good PvP units that finding them for this team was ridiculously easy. Pell is a must if you are running Dex Powerhouse centric builds. He gets level 3 CD for the entire team, which is, well, all Powerhouse characters, which is absolutely insane. His damage output's incredible. He has a great passive, even if you're just bringing a regular Dex team. It works very, very nicely. If you're versing stuff like Quick, you can use Sober Mask level in break 5 and Dalton level in break 5. They are absolutely exceptional. Obviously, you have Mori as well, but he's on a Powerhouse unit. So running those two characters works great, but the creme de la creme that I have noticed in terms of the latest sort of Dex buff is Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci is a massive sleeper for all Dex-based teams. Now, he's a Powerhouse, and he turned into a shooter instead of being a fighter, which has been interesting because, like, with the release of 6+ Luffy, we got more fighter buffs. So moving Lucci away from the fighter meta with, like, Donjin Jiao and Garp and those types of characters was a very interesting choice, but I really like it now that we've got all these extra shooter buffs with like Usopp and Frankie and stuff like that. So Rob Lucci's very, very good, and a character that I'm basically bringing on all my Dex teams now. He does so much goddamn damage, he lowers defense so drastically, and his passive is absolutely incredible. He gives a lot of attack up, he gives a lot of bulk. He's a very, very powerful character, not only on the Dex Powerhouse team, but just on the Dex team in general. I just had to bring him. He was a must bring, and kind of the shining light of not only this video, but all of the Dex teams that I put together. So I'm a huge fan of Rob Lucci. I love that they're doing this with 6+. All of the last 6+s have been exceptional in Rumble. From like Bonnie to Rayleigh to 6+ Kaido to even 6+ Shanks when taking on side teams. The new Law, this particular Lucci, they're doing a really, really good job with 6+ units, and I love to see a very, very powerful old unit be revisited into a meta somewhere, and PvP is the perfect place to do that. A lot of people have the character maxed out, a lot of people have extra copies of the character, they give you extra copies through the PvP system, so it's just, it shows dividends to reward long-term players, as well as players that are actually going to put the time and investment into getting up these 6+. Obviously, if you miss them, look, sucks to suck, but at the same time, I hope they work on ways to make it easier for you newer players to pick up some of these characters, but obviously there's always going to be a replacement somewhere down the line for these types of units because new units are coming out all the time. Speaking of new units, we have S Snake, who is a cerebral powerhouse. She's getting a lot of buffs this season, which is really, really cool, but she's exceptional when taking on Free Spirit characters, and in terms of the meta, Free Spirit's everywhere. Literally everywhere. Like shooter teams, regular Free Spirit teams, slasher teams, Dex teams, quick defensive teams, like Freak Spirit's literally everywhere. Like you just can't hide from it. So having a character like S-Snake at your disposal is very, very good. So if you, like I said, if you miss out on some of these 6+ characters, like your Jinbei, your Lucci, their level limit breaks are very, very good, but they're not exactly essential for particular teams. Now remember, this, if you guys are watching this video, this is a Dex Powerhouse centric video. So as for some of these characters on the team, I wouldn't really recommend like S-Snake on like the meta Dex team. I definitely wouldn't recommend something like Big Mom on the meta on the meta team anymore. Pell still very, very good. Jinbei still great, but then you still have stuff like S Shark as well, who's just absolutely demonic. So Dex is in a really good spot right now, and I do see us probably getting another Dex unit, or we could get maybe like a Cyberrook for the end of this Memories of the Straw Hat celebration. But Dex have just had so many buffs since the release of Ace, and like even a little bit before that as well. So it's nice to see that the teams are coming together and you have a lot of different options when running these particular builds. Honestly, I think Dex has now crept into my top 5. I do think that they've probably jumped like all the way to 3rd now with all these particular buffs. So like I said, I definitely need to put together a PvP video, a more updated version of that meta PvP video. But if you guys have any ideas or you have any thoughts on PvP, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget, as of the ending of this video, make sure to go vote over on the new poll, and I'll do another one of these in probably around a week to 2 weeks time, depending on when and where I get time to do that. Let me know in the comment section below what teams you guys want to see as well, so I can add them into the polls as well. But most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching. Belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. And I will catch you all in the next one.